Hello, 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 and good morning. Welcome, everyone. I'm gonna see if I can get rid of this little thing over here. It's a little shadow on the right side. So usually on my channel, I'm breaking down fight tactics and looking at higher level fights and breaking them down um, for you guys to see, kind of see what people are using at a high level of game. Maybe you can pull some ideas from there, etc., etc. But I do want to cover. My last one was on Achab and Amandi, and I wasn't able to get too much out of that just because I felt like it was a lot of safe play by Iran, and I think that Achab played it as well as he could with some punches there. It's just I didn't see too many times where they're using the same variables to manipulate each other, and so for me, it was a little bit harder to catch on to what I was seeing. I think if you guys have any ideas on what you guys saw, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to learn from you guys as well. But in this week, what I want to walk away or leave you guys with, or at least let you guys walk away with, was my old training schedule. And I'm not a medical professional. I haven't personally done the reading or research myself. So a lot of you guys who are in the medical field or really studied this in college or on your own time probably have a better idea and more accurate use of terms than I do. This is just my old training schedule that was given to me when I was like in 2004. I used it for many years, even until when I won U.S. Nationals in 2011, and then I found like in the Philippines they didn't really have a trainer yet there for a couple of years, and then I started working with a couple other coaches, and they're very well versed in this material. They knew exactly what was going on, and because they had read, they can give me a more precise game plan and picture of what to do. And so, what I want to leave you guys with isn't really what they're giving me, because I think that's probably proprietary to them, and I don't want to give away other secrets. But this is just the information I had, and I learned that I started with, and so I think it'd probably be a good. It carried me like really far, so I think it'd be good for you guys to kind of have this information as well. I mean, that's why this whole channel is here, so I can try and pass on the knowledge I've gathered, and hopefully help you guys out. And so, this is for this kind of training program. This kind of gameplay is for how do you put this? Is for like when you have a big fight. So at U.S. Nationals, usually you can expect to have 5 fights. If you're a featherweight in seniors, you can expect to have like 6. If you're a junior and you're in the fin fly, you can expect to have probably 6 also, because there are a lot of people in your guys' divisions. And so the biggest takeaway was that when I started my conditioning training, I didn't I was semi lazy in that I don't have top. I'm not in like physical condition 24/7, because I don't believe you can really maintain that. You can. There's ups and downs, but it's hard to like, because of the way this format was structured in the States. I didn't maintain that throughout the year. I like got really in shape right before regionals, back when there were regionals, and I got really in shape right before nationals. And then the rest of the year it was just maintenance stuff, like some lifting on the side, etc., etc. It wasn't just like going hard every day of the week, because I don't believe that really works. Anyway, so what I'm breaking down to you guys, like I said, is my kind of overall macro view of the training camp, and then I'll look into what my weekly structure kind of looked like throughout the week, so you guys can kind of have an idea of how much work or what you guys are going to be looking at if for fighting seniors or fighting competitive via juniors, and kind of stuff. If you're missing some of this stuff, maybe you can add on. If you guys are really experienced already and you're looking for the high level analysis for techniques, like, you guys probably skip this video. Anyway, so for those of you guys who are still tuned in, at nationals it's usually about 5 fights. 5 fights times 3 rounds is 15 rounds. So every one of my rounds was 2 minutes with a 30-second break. And the reason the 30-second break was there was because of, I felt like it took you, after they said, as soon as they stop the fight, the clock starts for your rest, right? So by the time you get back to your coach, it's been about 30 seconds. At about 10 seconds, sometimes even before that, the ref will call you back already. And so you don't really get to rest super long either during that time. That's why for me it's about 30 seconds. And I'd rather feel like I have a lot more recovery time when I'm sitting down than a lot less recovery time when I'm sitting down. So it's also partially mental too. Anyway, so my goal for the number of rounds I want to be fighting out or comfortable fighting out is 15, which means that on the first week I don't do 15. I start about 50 or 60%. So that's about 9 rounds. Then week 2 is 10 to 11 rounds. And then week 3 is 12 rounds. Now, during the first week, it's not going hard every single. I wasn't going hard like on all 9 rounds. The first week, especially on the first day, it was kind of just kicking out and like getting my body used to like I'm gonna need to be active during this whole time, like eventually, right? A lot more motions, etc., etc. Week 2, I pick up the intensity. Week 3, I pick up the intensity. Week 4, what's interesting in week 4 is it's not. Training isn't like just one big smorgasbord of hard training for like a month every single day of the week in the month. There's peaks and valleys. So you go, as you can tell here, it's up, 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 slightly down, up, up, and then your peak week, right? So yeah. So following this, it's 9 rounds, like 10 or 11, 12, then back to 10 or 11. So you take off a little bit. If you're really tired during week 3 or week 4, sometimes I just dropped it to 9. Week 5, I pick it up at 12. Week 6, I hit the maximum at 15. And then week 7, 4 or 5 days into week 7 should be your fight day. So 1 week before that, I'm still hitting the 15 rounds. And what this allows your body to do, I think, is allows your body to be fully prepared and healed for the time you're supposed to fight. And so this worked really well for me. This also isn't, when I'm doing my rounds, it's not 2 minutes of straight kicking. That's a different kind of stamina. When I'm doing my round, it's like bounce, bounce, bounce for like initially 4 or 5 seconds, one hard kick, reset, bounce, 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 4 or 5 seconds, one really hard kick, and whatever technique I wanted to work on for that round. As I get closer, as the weeks get closer to nationals, I cut that wait time down. So instead of like 4 or 5 or 6 seconds, then it's like 4 or 5, and then maybe 4, and back to 4 or 5, 4, and then every 3 seconds I'm trying to engage to like really push the limits of my cardio. And so that way, yeah, like I said, in week 7, you kind of taper off a little bit. You do, I would even say you do like 6 rounds maybe, just to go over the situations you want to go over, and then your fight day. So you're really just resting it up. So also, I'm not sure, you kind of can get this from context, but your intensity semi matches what's happening here. The first week you don't have to be super intense. It doesn't have to be super fully draining, but you increase intensity as you get closer and closer to game day. I think reading the talent code, they said that if you're able to maintain mental focus the entire time, that is the fastest way to learn. And so I think if you're like, that's a variation you can do if you want, meaning that when you're doing it, you're not just lackadaisically kicking. I'm still imagining, or you should still be imagining the way you kick when you're going to be fighting. It's just, you don't have to like I said, you don't have to engage every three seconds. You can wait that out like 4 or 5, maybe 6 seconds as you're building up to this. Now I'm trying to figure out if I'm left anything out. No, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions about this, please leave it in the comments. This is overall what I did. Like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 rounds. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, week 2, 10, 11 rounds. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, week 3, 12 rounds. Week 4, I dropped it off a little bit. 10, like back to 10 or 11. If I was really tired, sometimes I'd just drop it to 9. Week 5, you ramp it up again. You're back at 12. Week 6, you're at maximum. And then week 7, you start tapering off for your fight. Like I said, for those of you guys in the medical community or who have really studied this, I know there's way more precise ways to do this, and this is outdated. Like I said, I got this in 2004 from my coach at the time, and I used it for a long time. And so what this eventually broke down to was the weekly structure. My weekly structure was like this. So Sunday, I had a morning workout with the team. I didn't really have control over that, but I did have control most of the other days, where I would do rounds Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I did have a blog post on this. Tuesday. So rounds Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the reason for that is because you have both fast twitch and slow twitch muscles. Taekwondo is hard to train for because you need both. It's not just one sprint for 10, like for 100 meters, and then you get to rest for a long time. It's like sprint, short, sprint, jog, sprint, jog, sprint, jog for like 2 minutes. And how do I put this? If you use your fast twitch muscles, you should be using that kind of the whole day, so that way the next day all those can rest. And then so the next day I did slow twitch stuff, like I'll explain it, but it should be fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. So Sunday morning workout, kind of regardless of whatever this was. On Monday I did rounds, and my track workout was sprints. So sprints were a series of, I'll just give you guys that. I'll give you a weekly breakdown of how, or the week breakdown of how I did that. So anyway, Monday, Wednesday, Friday were rounds and sprints. Tuesday, Thursdays were a little bit lighter days, and I did like footwork / situational / technique. So those are my Tuesday, Thursday workouts. I'd find time to work on this stuff where it wasn't as demanding cardio-wise. It was just a lot more continuous motion, a lot slower twitch muscle stuff. Saturday was rest. I always believe in having a day of rest at some point. Usually Monday through Friday, I did 2 to 3 workouts a day. Sunday is once. As I get closer, I felt like if I needed to do 2, then I'd do 2 workouts. Like I'd add a whatever track workout I needs to do here. Yeah, this is pretty much my overall training schedule. Now, sprint wise, like what are we doing sprint wise? So on week 1, I did, this is kind of measured by 400. So there's 400, 200, 100, 150, and then tens, or yeah, tens. And so on week 1, I did 1 400, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next week was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Set week number 3. You just add 1 to each one. 4, 5, 6, 7. This one was a copy of week 2, right? So this is the same deal here. And then week 4 was a copy of week 2. Week 5 you increase a little bit, so you're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then at the very end, at the maximum, you were at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. And so this isn't just do these automatically right away every time. It was a lot of, by 400 I mean like one lap around the track, like 400 meters. Then I did 200 meters, then 100 meters, and then 50s, and then 5 10s. And when I do these, I remember I did these I'd do 1 lap and then I'd rest for like 3 to 5 minutes, because you're not after the you're after the cardio, but you want the full recovery before the full burst again. And then so the rest here is 3 to 5 minutes. And that was maintained throughout the whole time. 3 to 5 minute rest. 3 to 5 minute rest for all of this stuff. As for the 400s anyway. For the 400s. As the distance got shorter, I didn't rest as long. So for the 200, after about 2 minutes, I felt fine. So I did the next 200. I walked back. I include the walk back as rest time. So if it takes you 2 minutes to walk back, 2 to 3 minutes to walk back, then you need to sprint again. Then 100s, maybe about 2. I think I maintained about 2 minutes here also. And then like here, I felt like I only needed a minute, because like 10 meters is like, that's like 5 steps. But it helped me, in my opinion, it helped me with burst speed stuff. I know there's ways where you can lift to do that. But if you can't lift, because I'm coaching some people now where I don't know where the research is on lifting for kids or not lifting for kids, but I err on the side of caution. So if kids can lift, great. I haven't read up on it, but just in case you're worried about that, sprints are kind of what got me strong, and sprints are what got me faster. I had a teammate before also who was nowhere as fast as I was, and he used to sprint up a hill 5 times every day, and eventually he started catching me, and eventually he started becoming faster than me, and his kicks got harder, etc., etc., and that was just because he was sprinting up a small hill 5 times every day. And so in my opinion, sprints are one of the best ways for you to increase speed. I know there's other ways, more efficient ways to do it now, but my trainers are having me do that, and I don't want to reveal that unless they give the okay. So hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have questions, let me know. So a typical Monday for me would look like, if I was on week 1, I'd do my warm up, make sure I was fine. I'd do the, did I do the 100 first? Yeah. So I'd start at the edge of the track. I'd do my 400 and then rest. And then I'd do my 200, walk back, rest for 2 minutes, etc. Do my 200 again, rest. Then I'd get set 300, walk back, make sure I waited about 2 minutes, do my 300, my 100 again. I did that 3 times, etc., etc. So that was my track workout, usually right after school. At night, and then I'd come home, do homework, eat dinner, and then at night, I'd get on a heavy bag, or if my dad was there, or if I had a partner, I'd have them hold for me, or I'd do 2 minutes, 9 rounds with 30-second rest. And all of my rounds were stuff I feel like I was gonna need. So back leg round kick, then fast kick, and then op ball, and then pod chuggy. So there's my first 4 always, just kind of as a warm up. Then if need be, I'd do some axe kick on the side, doubles, just whatever I need to work on. As I got closer to game day, so that's generally what would happen Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As I got closer to game day, my rounds became more situational. So let's say week 4, instead of just pod chuggy out of the gate, I'd motion, slide in, and then pod chug, because you're back in back before Ihogu's, pod chug was a big weapon, so you have to kind of bait people into getting that, and one way to bait is to motion, to slide in forward and then pod chug. So it'd be very situational. Week 4, 5, 6, you get situational, and you start really using the techniques that you feel you're going to use in game day. And then of these, I'd pick 75% of the rounds. So I have these written down before. I don't sit there during my rest time like, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I go into my day knowing what rounds I'm going to do, so that way I don't waste time thinking about what I need to do next. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. I think this is pretty much overall. I want to give you guys a game plan of what I did and how I approached my training. And so when something needed to be edited, or if I lost, I could go into my training schedule, and it wasn't just random. So I know if my stamina was lacking, maybe I need to increase intensity during my rounds, or I need to, now I know there's more modern ways to do this. Maybe I need to brush up on how to do them a little bit more modern. I think for most people who are watching this, though, this is definitely going to help you out already. Am I missing anything? Tuesday, Thursday. So Tuesday, Thursday, I didn't just do this. I was supposed to run distance. It's do some distance stuff. So I'd run a mile or 2, just to maintain slow twitch. I guess slow twitch cardio is the best way for me to put it in the terms that I understand, because there's anaerobic and aerobic, and I don't really. Sometimes I mix those up, so I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to go slow twitch. Tuesday, Thursday was supposed to be distance run. Some days I just use that to make up homework, because I was in high school 2004, and so it was usually I'd make sure to do footwork or work mainly on technique. It doesn't have to be super fast. It's just techniques I felt like I was going to use. So sometimes I'll just straight op ball for six rounds, going up and down the floor, just op ball and reset, op ball, reset, op ball. So not super intense. I was just making sure I just got the technique down. And then I was supposed to, if I had time, then I would jog around our neighborhood, which is 2 miles. And then that would just be my 2 workouts for the day. Yeah, I just want to leave you guys with this, and I don't want to make this video too long, so you guys are able to watch all of it. If you guys have any questions, please shoot them my way. I understand that this information is a little bit dated. So those of you guys who are like freaking out right now about like you're not using the right terms or like this isn't the most efficient way to do, like I understand that. This is just what I used back in the day that helped me a lot, and I think it's still relevant today for a lot of people, especially for those of you who are watching this. If you guys want to add that information below, though, feel free to do that. Yeah, we'll see how you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe, or comment, and I really appreciate it. See you guys. Actually, I won't see you guys next week. News update. News update. I'm going to be flying to the Philippines next Tuesday to begin training over there for the SEA Games, and I've started training here already. I just need to go over there to get like with people who are more my size, and get with a coach who can like who's going to be with me, I guess daily, I guess, because over here we got great coaches, but we got like regular class and stuff. I'm gonna be training with the national team, so that way like every training there's always a coach who's on me, finding my bad habits, helping me improve that way. So I'm gonna try and put a couple videos in the bank, so maybe I can get a couple out to you guys. If I don't get it out to you guys though, no, it's just because I'm training, and as soon as I'm done with that, then we'll be good. But I appreciate you guys sticking around, and see you guys next time.